As the point leader, Fabio Quartararo retired on the first lap. Nea Bastianini overcame stablemate Francesco Bagnaia to win the Aragon MotoGP event. The six-time champion had lined up 3 rows back, but Quartararo had lost one position at the start and found the returning Marc Marquez directly in front of him. Quartararo was left with nowhere to go as Marquez caught a rear slide coming out of turn 3. The race for the championship leader was over at that point as he was propelled off his Yamaha. Marquez's race went on for another lap and he was involved in another significant collision, while the unfortunate Quartararo reportedly had another crash as he was being transported to the paddock as a passenger on a Marshall's scooter. He managed to push Takaki Nakagami of Honda stable onto the curb after his now damaged RC213V logged coming out of turn 7. Contact that followed sent Nakagami skating across the racing line into the reverse corkscrew, just missing the rest of the pack. In the meantime, Marquez's Honda was losing pieces, so he called it a day and went to the LCR box to apologize to Nakagami's team. Prior to the pandemonium in the middle of the pack, Bagnaia had maintained the lead of the line despite teammate Jack Miller's better launch. Miller was later taken out by Brad Binder's quick starting KTM. At the beginning of the third lap, the Australian was back through on Binder, but Gresini Ducati rider Bastianini followed through on the subsequent lap, then passed Miller at turn 15 the following lap and continued after Bagnaia. He had previously passed Bagnaia, his 2023 teammate, at turn 1 on lap 8, but he botched turn 12 on that same lap, giving Bagnaia the lead back. The Works Ducati driver then increased his lead to almost a second while Bastianini battled Binder. The factory Ducati advantage first appeared to have stabilized, but Bastianini quickly started cutting into Bagnaia's lead again. Eventually, Bastianini drew close enough to apply intense pressure to Bagnaia in the closing lap. Bastianini pulled the trigger with a turn 7 move on the penultimate lap after a few failed attempts on the back straight, then held off Bagnaia on the finish line to win by 0.042 seconds. Behind them, Alex Espargaro won his first podium since Mugello after passing Binder on the penultimate lap. Binder had spent the majority of the race in third after regaining Miller. After Binder, Miller came in at number 5, followed by 3 other Ducati riders, George Martin, Luca Marini and Johan Zarco. After Johan Mir withdrew, Alex Rins, the lone Suzuki, finished 9th. Marco Beschesi, who made it 7 Ducatis in the top 10, completed the top 10. Maverick Vinales and Aprilia teammate of Espargaro's finished only 13th as a result of Nakagami's early slide at the reverse corkscrew. Behind him was the Carl Crutchlow of RNF Yamaha, who placed first for Yamaha on his comeback to the MotoGP. In a glimmer of good news for Yamaha, team manager Lynn Jarvis confirmed during the race that the Frenchman had sustained no major injuries and only had chest abrasions, and indicated his rider would be fully fit for the next weekend's race at Motegi. However, Quartararo was seen limping once back in the paddock. With the 5 races remaining, Quartararo leads Bagnaia by 10 points, Espargaro by 17 and Bastianini by 17. With 48 points remaining, Bastianini might take a late charge.